Recurring revenue is awesome. High ticket recurring revenue is even more awesome. I'll tell you that from experience. I am going to show you today in this video how I've successfully charged recurring high ticket for both products and services for several years now, since technically 2017. And I'm going to give you all the insights and lessons that I've learned associated with that. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you how you're losing and missing out on a substantial sum of revenue on a month-over-month basis, and all of what you need to do to make adjustments to your current offers to be capable of selling high ticket recurring product or services. No more of these little games that you play where you charge a couple $1,000 and that's your main thing and that's all the revenue that you get. No. In today's video, I'm going to show you how the lowest ticket product that I've currently got is $5,000 transactionally, and how the current highest ticket education company product we have is $10,000 a month. We also have a 3.4 to 3.7% churn annualized for that high ticket recurring product. I've talked recently in a video about the fulfillment best practices associated with that. But again, in today's video, I'm going to encapsulate all of the lessons of actually selling, marketing, and a few fulfillment lessons as well around high ticket recurring products or services. Welcome into the channel. If you're new, my name's Jeremy Haynes. All we talk about around here is cracking $1 million months. Whether it's the first $1 million month or the next $1 million month, we got you on the top lessons from people who have been there, done that we hand down to you here on YouTube. We don't make any income claims though. You're likely an idiot who has zero potential to turn money into any more money. So simply put, these are just lessons that we're handing down to you. There is a 99.99% chance that you don't even crack 10 million a year. That's right. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, the good old government of the United States claims that you have a 0.1% probability of ever cracking 10 million a year, let alone the even smaller probability to get to $1 million a month, or the even smaller probability compared to that to hit a couple million a month. And let's be honest, you probably think you're some special snowflake, but you're probably not. You're probably a part of that 99.99 and even smaller percentile that'll never ever hit these kinds of numbers. So kick back, enjoy the lessons, and I'm sure there'll be something that you can apply to help your business grow. But again, no income claims or earning potential. And of course, if you're already a subscriber, welcome back. Absolute pleasure to have you here. Without further ado, let's dive in. So when you look at recurring high ticket, this is very important to understand it. Okay? It's a 30-day recurring charge, okay? And the number one lesson associated with this that you have to think with in the offer stack itself is very obvious. It is the power of you generating ongoing results, okay? The ongoing results are one of the most important things. In almost all instances, that means that you have to have fresh/new material or whatever it is that you're doing factored into whatever it is that you're selling. Let's look at something simple, like a nice car. You know, I have 4 nice cars currently. I have a Rolls-Royce Ghost that I spend about $4K a month on. I have a McLaren 750S Spider that I spend about $5K and some change a month on. I have a 911 Turbo S Cabriolet, an incredible car that I threw some HREs on. We call it Blueberry. That specific car, honestly, I'm not actually sure how much that specific car costs me each month. Maybe $3K. And then I have a Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT, the highest spec Cayenne that they've got, that race car SUV. Absolute sleeper of a daily mobile. My fiance drives that car. And again, I couldn't tell you how much that one costs, but arguably cheaper than the other 3. Here's my point. In that example, I'm technically paying recurring high ticket, a few $1,000s a month, ranging from like 2 to 5-ish K a month, specifically because I'm getting the ability to consistently use the product every month. People do this with products from guys like Alex Becker with software, with Hyros, right? Give or take how much revenue you're specifically running through there that they're tracking for you dictates how much you have to spend. We know clients that make a few $1,000,000 a month that are spending thousands of dollars a month just to have their revenue tracked, because give or take how much revenue you track with them dictates how much you are going to have to pay, okay? There's obviously guys like myself, Jeremy's Inner Circle, an incredible product, twice a month one-on-one calls, weekly group calls, huge course vault, unlimited access to Jeremy AI quarterly. That means 4 times a year we do masterminds here in person in good old Miami, Florida. There's a very active group chat, dozens and dozens of SOPs, financial models, you name it. And it's very easy for people to justify staying a part of the group, not only because there's new material, fresh material, but because we are great at our job of helping people get ongoing results. They come in, they get a result. Most of the time, the people who join in that are already doing a couple $100 grand a month, which is as most people. It's very easy to teach them literally 1 to 3 things that can make back the entire cost of the year for them to stay a part of the group. But we don't just stop there. We consistently try to get them results on an ongoing month-over-month basis. It's the number one lesson you have to understand if you actually want to get to the point where you can charge high ticket. You have to look at it from one of two perspectives, okay? It's either ongoing usage / access. Think of it like your rent, right? Or your mortgage that you pay. You pay month in and month out to maintain the usage, to maintain the access. When you go use an Airbnb or a hotel comparatively, you typically pay a little bit more than what you'd pay for your rent or for your mortgage because you're using it for a shorter duration of time. So usually when you're using it over a longer period of time, you get a deal cut to you. Again, like in the instance of rent or your mortgage. It has to be something of value. Think about that. That's where somebody lives. It's literally their shelter. It's the roof over their head. Think about how much you as a rich guy spend on food on a month-over-month basis. There's certain restaurants that we and my staff frequent literally 4 to 5 days out of the week. There's a 1-star Michelin restaurant right up the road from our office here in the Design District in Miami, Florida. It's called Cote. C-O-T-E. It's a 1-star Michelin steakhouse, Korean steakhouse at that. Very good restaurant. They have a nice little lunch box that's about $35. Comes with steak, rice, a little egg yolk, some wasabi, and some kind of brown sauce. It's an incredible dish. We pay Coach literally low thousands of dollars a month, every month, just so 4 to 5 men, 4 to 5 days out of the week, every day for lunch can have that little Coat steak and rice combo. It's incredible. But again, it's the ongoing use. It's the fact that, yes, it's technically transactional, but again, they could easily sell us an ongoing subscription for a certain amount of that, and we'd happily pay it, especially given how often we use it. Here's my point. You right now, you're charging transactional high ticket because that's all you're good at doing. You're good at getting people one result or one main result, and at best, you're good at doing it over a broad duration of time. I, on the other hand, when I'm charging somebody for access to Jeremy's Inner Circle at mid-thousands of dollars a month, have to be good at getting them a result within a 30-day period of time on an every 30-day recurring basis for the justification for them to be in there. You understand the difference? The main thing that you have to optimize around is the speed to you producing the results. That's what you suck at right now. That is why you only charge what you charge. You also likely don't track how much you're actually making people or what value they actually extract from it and how much they'd be willing to pay or how they'd be willing to pay, period, on an ongoing basis. Just to be really clear with you so you understand this, plain and simple. You want to charge somebody every 30 days, you have to exceed the value of what they paid, whether it be a monetary return that they generated from it, or whether it be something like the value of rent or the value of tracking your revenue, which technically, like in the Hyros use case, is still justified as making money. Or in the case of the cars, it's like I'm not spending upwards of however much I'm spending per month, low tens of thousands of dollars with insurance factored in, just for the fuck of it. It's like I have a lot of fun when I drive those cars, but I'm also buying the status of it on an ongoing basis. You understand? Somebody on Twitter the other day, I'd posted this beautiful black ceramic Bubba Watson 1 of 30 Asia edition rose gold watch. And somebody who's in poverty was like,
I don't understand why people buy those watches. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's an ugly watch.
and I told him point blank why people buy watches like these. I said, buddy, I'm buying status. I'm rewarding myself for accomplishment. But most importantly, I'm signaling to other people who I want to talk to, which happens quite frequently where I live down here in good old Miami, Florida, who immediately recognize the level that we're both playing at and can spark a conversation at a much higher level. It's very easy to justify, but in addition to that, it's value retention. It's like a frozen bank account. Again, here's my point. Whatever you are going to charge, you have to be able before the next charge comes, you have to be able to exceed the value of what that counterparty is getting from it, whether it be status, a financial return, clarity, whatever it is, okay? You have to exceed it within the 30 days. So therefore, you have to track what that metric actually is. You have to track what that specific thing is. As soon as you know that, you're going to have a good time, and you could start to optimize around the speed to results. Now, obviously, what you get to charge is relative to the level of result that you can produce. Let me tell you a quick story about Jeremy's Inner Circle. When I very first started it back in 2019, it only cost $1,500 a month. That's because I had no idea what I could actually do for people. The income qualification was far lower back then. I think back then you only had to make a measly $20K a month to be a part of the group. Those people specifically, who still today, who are with us that pay that $1,500 a month. We're great at our job, but because those people made less when they joined into the group, it was also harder to help them make more sooner. So the ability for me to charge more wasn't really justified. Then we started to attract a higher quality person. How? Easy. I just started talking about higher level lessons on the front end in places like this on YouTube and on all my other social channels and my ads. And as a result, we attracted a higher quality person. Well, we cranked the price of that product as time went on from $1,500 to $2K a month. From 2K to 3K, from 3K to 4K, from 4 to 5. When we got to 5, I thought to myself, wow, this is really impressive. The minimum income qualification to join in when we were at 5K a month was $100,000 a month. And at that $100,000 a month, it became far easier to help those people get a whole lot richer. And as a matter of fact, when we were around the 5K a month mark, we barely got people that were around 100K a month. We had some aspirational guys where their dream and their goal was to be a part of it, and so they'd try their hardest to get to 100K a month, but we very, very rarely even let those guys in. We have guys all the time that are already at a good mid couple 100K a month. We have guys join in that are already up more than $1 million a month that are trying to tack on that next $1 million a month to what they do. And again, the outcome of that product is in no way, shape, or form an income claim or a guarantee that we can do these things. But these people who buy it, they know that the lessons that we share in there can at least increase their odds of trying to make these things possible for themselves a little bit more than what they are without the information that we can otherwise provide. And that's all we do in that product. We just give people resources. We give them access to other people who are doing it. We give them the lessons in a far more detailed way, with far more ways to consume those lessons than what we would ever do here for free on YouTube as an example. Now, when we got to 5K a month, it actually became very problematic. The types of people that would join in were already so rich that when they would apply the lessons that we teach, they'd get so much richer, so much faster than people who historically joined in that were already making less. And so we had to implement more friction. We added an annual agreement. We have to be in there for at least a year, otherwise we won't let you in. We already had the minimum income qualification, but we started to be even more strict, as I mentioned, not allowing the people who are closer to the bottom of that restriction to join in. We had to start denying more people, even if they were technically the right people, because we'd have upwards of 10 to 30 people a month joining into it at those levels. We then cranked it to 6K a month. Same exact problem as 6K a month, except the problem got exacerbated again. Richer people joined in. The people who didn't have an issue with the price, who recognized that the price of that product was a signal of what the value of the product was. Think about it from the perspective of, man, if this guy's charging that amount, what's he capable of doing? How's he so confidently going to be able to charge that? I can't imagine the level of result I'm going to be able to produce or what I could produce with the information I get access to in there if that guy's charging that. When we charged 6K a month, I was only able to charge 6K a month for about 60 days. The first month of charging 6K a month, we had about 15 people join in. The second month of charging 6K a month, we had a little over 21 people join in. Far too much. We then cranked it from 6K a month to 10K a month. We did our biggest jump yet, and we still had people join in at 10K a month. Here's the point I'm trying to make, and this is really important that you understand this. As time went on, we became more certain in our capacity to produce people results. As time went on, the network effect started to kick in, where as the richer people joined in and were getting great results with it on an ongoing basis, they'd naturally tell all their friends who would ask. They'd say, yeah, dude, no, this guy's not fucking around at all. Like, this is an awesome thing to be a part of. It's a special thing. And I want to be very clear in saying it's definitely worth more than what we charge for it right now. And we know that, and people who buy it know that. The people who don't know that are the ones who are on the fence. And rightfully so. I mean, 10K a month's an excessive amount of money. Again, I could have my McLaren and my Rolls Royce with a little bit of insurance factored in for technically the same amount. And that's what people will compare it to. And that's my point. I want to be really clear when I say this, okay? We are great at that specific job of getting people results on an ongoing basis. Most people who I know, as an example of that, people in that same program, when they first consider, how could I start doing something similar to what Jeremy's done with his Jeremy's Inner Circle product? That's the very first thing you have to answer is, how much result am I getting people right now, and what is fair to charge people? That's the most important word that you have to think with when you're in the consideration phase of what your high ticket product or service could be that you're going to charge that recurring high ticket amount for. Has to be something that's fair, that both parties look at and say, yeah, it's a risk, but it's fair relative to whatever result or outcome I'm going to produce on an ongoing basis. You understand? That's the most important part, fair. And you generally start lower. That's why I'm transparent with you right now as I sit here and tell you about our Jeremy's Inner Circle pricing journey. I tell you that to reveal to you that we started smaller, and as the results got bigger and bigger and bigger, as our systems got better and better and better, as our overall result volume grew and our quality and value of member grew that other people got the opportunity to network with, naturally our certainty lifted, and certainty is reflected in your pricing. You're typically going to start smaller and you're going to work your way up. Here's the good news though. You have an opportunity here to change the course of your business forever. Imagine waking up on an ongoing basis every month, and instead of starting at zero and having to climb that transactional ladder, you just wake up and you say, well, here's our churn rate. This is how many people out of our recurring revenue that we're going to be able to retain and successfully charge this month realistically. As long as nothing goes wrong from that perspective and our delivery stays dialed in, we wake up to start the month with whatever amount it is. Could be a mid-range couple $100,000. You might obviously start lower than that and just tens of thousands of dollars that you get to start with. What if that's what you're spending on ad spend right now and you successfully liquidate your ad spend just with the recurring high ticket people you can start this whole system with? It's a milestone system, right? 200 people at 5K a month is $1 million a month, just to put it in perspective. You understand? That's a game changer. So back to my point, to get the ability to charge the recurring high ticket amount that you likely want to charge, it has to be fair. It's likely going to be smaller when you first get started because you have to dial in a system and a process that's going to get people results on an ongoing 30-day basis. The results that they get have to exceed whatever it is that they're going to pay. And as time goes on, you can incrementally move that pricing up because again, pricing is reflected with the certainty of your system for producing those ongoing results. Has to be fair, okay? You have to have something that ideally incorporates the stack, the offer, like whatever it is that you actually are going to sell to somebody. It's very simple to determine what that actually is. It may be what you're selling now, just with ongoing updates that you're incentivized to create on an ongoing 30-day basis. Instead of you just having whatever it is that you have now that people buy, that they just get access to and like that's it, that's all they get, you might finally change that to be updating it on a more frequent basis. Whatever system that you sell to somebody, whenever your offer stack ends up being, just think of it in that context. It's really simple to determine what the offer stack is when you just simply say, what can I do to provide ongoing value that exceeds the amount somebody's going to pay? Okay, so for us, as an example in our Jeremy's Inner Circle stack, one of my favorite things that we've recently incorporated that helps the most is Jeremy AI. So we have, without exaggeration, every single message I've been able to export successfully from Telegram, iMessage, social platforms, every single call recording that I've got when it comes to client calls, consulting calls, one-on-one calls, okay, every training video, every video like this, every SOP I've ever written, right? Literally every single thing I've ever documented, which by the way, right now while I sit here and film this is more than like 13 million words from me that thing is trained on, voice notes, whatever it is. And guess what? Every day that I document something, which is literally every day, by the way, and that's not an exaggeration. Every day I film something, every day I document something, every day I do calls, every day I send messages, every day we have more training material that we export at the end of the day, upload into it, and it's one day behind real Jeremy. People can message in real time. Well, I'm sitting here doing this right now. They can message in real time. And that's what we talked about in that fulfillment video. I'd really encourage you to go watch that. That fulfillment video, I talked about digital Jeremy and I talked about AI Jeremy as a great example of something that people have real-time access to. It helps them get results faster. Okay, and then we have a few different things that we incorporate in our stack. SOPs. SOPs are incredible to read through. They're step-by-step in order to implement a specific strategy or set of tactics we have to get results. But they're also an incredible asset to feed into an LLM that specific member prefers to use, okay? Whether it be for their staff, whether it be for them, or whether it be for an LLM, it's another way to consume the same information. They obviously have access to real Jeremy when they pay for the full Jeremy's Inner Circle. They can message me, they can do one-on-one calls with me, they can talk to me, okay? And I will answer their question. They have a group chat, extremely active, full of all these other people that are like them, that are rich, trying to get a fuckload richer. And they have a place where they can ask questions where people will actually engage with them and give them additional perspective beyond just myself. We have a huge training library. Here's the point I'm trying to make. Each one of these things, and there's several more that I could sit here and name, they're all different forms of consumables, and all these things, whether it's Jeremy AI, whether it's real Jeremy, whether it's the course vault, whether it's the community, all these are fresh and new on an ongoing basis. We update the course vault every week with a new weekly group call. Jeremy AI gets updated literally every day. You can talk to real Jeremy every day. There's different things inside of the group chat every day. Okay, there's not an everyday SOP to be clear, but again, there's SOPs typically like once or twice a month that we drop as well. These things, as an example of the offer stack, when I say like this whole fresh and new thing, these are variables that are important for you to understand, because you can't just sell some kind of like one and done system unless it's an access system. Okay, it's like in the example of Hyros or your rent or a car, technically it's the same thing. Nothing needs to be new, nothing needs to change, nothing has to evolve with it. It just has to do its job and provide the ongoing value. From my reflection of what most of you sitting here are more probable to sell recurring high ticket, it's less probable to be something like rent. It's less probable to be something like a car. It's less probable to just be like some kind of ongoing thing that just works for them. In most instances, what most of you are going to sit here and sell to people, that's some kind of recurring high ticket product or service. It's going to be something that requires you to contribute to it every month to help with that process of getting them that ongoing result on a monthly basis. Okay, there's so many more lessons that I could sit here and talk to you about, and I do, but I do it inside of the paid programs that we have, like Jeremy's Inner Circle and like my Master Internet Marketing program, which there's links for down in the description of this video. I hope that this inspires you, because when I, way back in the day, years ago, determined that this was the best path forward, obviously from a financial perspective, it's fucking sweet, okay? I love it. But what I also love is the level of result that we're able to provide to people when they take the commitment far more seriously. And naturally, people will take the commitment far more seriously when they spend more on it, and they spend more on it on an ongoing basis, okay? As somebody who's had an education company for almost a decade now, okay? I've had my education company since 2017. It's almost 2026 at the time I filmed this video, so about 9 years. Over that duration of time, I remember when I used to only charge a couple $100 for like some kind of course or something that people could get access to. Only half the people would log in. I've sold books. Like, I have a book, most of y'all don't even know this, called What I Wish I Knew Getting Started. It's perfect for more of an entry-level person. I give it out for free. You can go to my Instagram at Jeremy, and it's in that little free courses highlight. You can see it in there if you want to opt in and get a digital version of it. You can also get it on Kindle on Amazon if you want. But anyway, that book specifically, again, it's like, how many people actually read the fucking book after they get the book? Not a lot, because a lot of people buy books and they just don't take it seriously because they spent so little on it. I remember when I had initially taken the leap to enhance that product that we previously charged a couple $100 for, add a tremendous amount to it, redo it, add more to it. We started charging $5K for that. 100% of people logged in when it was $5K. We saw the total consumption go up dramatically as a result of charging $5K. And here's what's most important to understand about that. That got people a fuckload more results, which is the whole point of selling a product. Selling a product, especially in an education company, is not some fucking cash grab. It's an opportunity to have somebody transact in order to get some kind of outcome or result, or increase the odds that they can speed up their process to getting a specific result and outcome. So as a result of charging more, we recognized we're far more probable to get people results on an ongoing basis. Then when we started charging initially, like I said, that $1,500 a month, that came out to $18K a year. Just to put that in perspective, 1,500 times 12. The level of result, the involvement, the consumption, dramatically higher again compared to the $5K transactional amount. And then you compare that several years later to people now paying $10K a month. The speed, this is the most impressive thing that I've noticed compared to anything else. The level of seriousness that somebody has coming into that product is so much more extreme. Like, they come in and they immediately consume, they immediately engage, they immediately ask questions, they immediately say like, what's the plan? What should I do first? And then more importantly than anything else, they put it into action so much faster than anybody else. And as a result of that, they get results faster. And then guess what? It doesn't stop there, because they get charged again next month. And they repeat that same process again and again and again. So our ability in this specific context with the product I'm giving you an example of, for me personally with our education company, we get better results through time. We get better members through time. They stay for longer durations of time because they get so much more results over a broader duration of time. The value of those members is literally far greater than somebody who makes far less. And so their network is far stronger. And so therefore the referral model is also far stronger when we've simply charged more money on an ongoing basis for some kind of recurring high ticket product. The implications of doing this almost feel like it crosses into a territory where it's unethical to charge less, or to not structure whatever it is that you're selling high ticket in a non-recurring way where it's just transactional. I deeply believe in the most sincere way I can say it to you, that I think you're actually doing a big disservice to people by only charging them a one-time transactional amount. I don't want to make it something where you say, okay, people who are impoverished or people who don't have a probability to easily afford it should be stretched thin with something that you're otherwise just charging and not getting great results for, and now going to try to take it to a recurring high ticket product. That's not the context I'm saying. I'm trying to let you know it's likely going to be a difference in audience that you're selling to now, as it's been for me. Like, the people who are very first a part of Jeremy's inner circle are not the people that are a part of Jeremy's inner circle today. And that's what's really important to understand. There's an adaptation in who you're likely going to sell to. And that adaptation is going to require you to update your messaging. It's going to require you to increase your ability to deliver and speed up the process to delivery. It's going to demand you to evolve, which is an incredible thing, because every single evolution that we've had to make to be able to successfully sell to this type of person that we currently sell to successfully on an ongoing basis with 3.4 to 3.7% annualized churn is solely because we have made those necessary adaptations as time has gone on. It's made our business exponentially better than it ever was prior. And that challenge that you will be faced with, the set of challenges that you will be faced with, are going to benefit you, your company, your customers forever in a very positive way. So I would encourage you to take on the challenge. It's not going to be easy. It's not just going to be a flick of a switch and you just start charging more money overnight. You're really going to need to take this serious, and you're really going to need to embrace everything along the way that's going to be required of you to do it successfully. But when you do it successfully, there's a far better you on the other side of it, I assure you of that. And there's obviously a far richer version of you on the other side of it as well. And remember, the whole point of getting richer is you're able to materialize a better world for yourself, others, and the people that you help far sooner than you would compared to having less resources. So take on the challenge, give it a shot, see what you can do. And of course, if you want the ongoing help, want your hand held through this, you want the lessons that of course we would never share for free here on YouTube, check out the links down in the description for one of our paid products. At the least, subscribe to the channel, check out some of my other videos, and go get richer. Talk soon.